Welcome back to Hope's Homemade Kitchen. Today, we're going to help you stay on track with getting some high protein in, or even if you're watching your weight and you want to have some convenient meals throughout the week, we have the answer for you. We're making buffalo chicken, vegetables, and rice. Those are very well balanced ingredients with high protein from the chicken. Let's get started. Here are the ingredients for the buffalo chicken, rice, and vegetable meal prep that we'll be doing today. In the bowl I have several chicken breast and chicken thighs that I'll be prepping. We've got olive oil, Frank's Red Hot sauce, smoked paprika, celery salt, black pepper, hot honey seasoning, garlic powder, rice, and these are the vegetables that we'll be roasting, cutting up and roasting. So bell peppers, onions, cauliflower, and broccoli. Okay, we'll get started with prepping the vegetables first. You'll want to chop onions in whatever size you like with your meals. We're going to be roasting these on a sheet pan with a little olive oil and seasonings. So I'm going to cut them relatively large sizes. I'm going to spray our sheet pan with a light coating of olive oil. I had a few small sweet peppers we needed to use up, so these are perfect for roasted vegetables. I'll reserve the rest of that pepper. It's so big, I'm going to reserve that for another meal. That seems like a lot of vegetables. Those will cook down and hopefully be enough for 10 to 12 meals. Okay, now we have the veggies all cut up. I'm going to spray them with olive oil, my sprayer. Then we'll season them and they will be ready to roast. This just helps them brown. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of smoked paprika. Some garlic. Some pepper, and a little celery salt. Okay, those are ready to go into the oven. Give it another little spray. It does tend to absorb that olive oil. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to set it aside until we're ready to roast the vegetables. Okay, next we'll be cutting up the chicken into bite-sized pieces. We'll be cooking them on this wire rack. So I'm going to spray it with cooking spray so it doesn't stick. So I'm just removing any visible fat pieces. I'm going to put this back in the bowl to season it. Once I get all of the pieces about the same size. I'm going to remove the fat from these chicken thighs. And the skin. I'll remove the skin and as much of the fat as I can. Okay, I'm going to put them all back in the bowl just so I could season them really good. A good amount of pepper in there. Smoked paprika gives it a really good flavor. And I'm just eyeballing this. You can suit to your own, you can season to your own liking. Celery salt, garlic. Garlic is good on just about any kind of meat. And then this is a hot honey seasoning. Goes really well with buffalo chicken. Give it a good amount there. And then I'm going to pour a little olive oil in there just to kind of help it bind. Get my hands in there. Okay, that's well coated. I think I might be able to fit all this on one sheet. Putting it on a wire rack helps it keep it above any juices that might fall and keeps it crispy, or crisper than if it were just cooking in its own juices. Okay, that's looking good. Now you're probably wondering where the Frank's Red Hot comes in. This comes in after the chicken has cooked, so we've pre-seasoned the chicken with all of these different seasonings. And then when it's cooked, we will brush it with a little bit of butter and Frank's Red Hot. So now I'm going to preheat the oven to 375 degrees and we'll cook both the chicken and the vegetables. Okay, now the oven is preheated, so I'm going to put in my vegetables and my chicken. In the meantime, we'll be cooking the rice. So for 12 servings, I'm going to put in 3 cups of dry rice. I'm going to add a little extra. I'll do 4 cups. And then for 3 cups, I should have 4.5 cups of water, so I will do 6 cups. I'll do 6 cups of water since I have 4 cups of rice. Okay, 4 cups of rice, 6 cups of water. Add in a little bit of salt. And I'll bring it to a boil. Give it a little stir so it doesn't stick. And then once it comes to a boil, I'll turn it down to low and then cook it for 15 minutes, covered. Okay, now the rice has come to a pretty good boil. I'm going to give it a last stir. I'm going to turn the heat down to low, cover it, and set the timer for 15 minutes. Next, I'm going to start cooking my buffalo sauce. So I'll put the Frank's sauce in with a half a stick of butter and just let it go on a low simmer, because when the chicken is ready, we'll brush the chicken and we'll have that to flavor the chicken. So I add a good amount of Frank's sauce. Depending on who your consumer is, they'll like a lot of Frank's or maybe just a little bit. So you can be the judge of how much you use. I'm going to season it with a little bit of celery salt, not a lot. And then we'll put on a very low, this is a simmer burner, so I'm just going to put it on very low and cover it. Okay, the rice has gone 15 minutes and it is done and nice and fluffy. We're going to put that aside until we're ready to dish up the meals. Okay, now the chicken is almost to temperature. We need to cook it to 165 degrees internal temperature. But what I'm going to do is brush it with the Frank's hot sauce with butter and seasoning, and then put it back in the oven until it gets to 165 degrees. This gives it really good flavor with the vegetables and the rice. And the rice will cut some of the heat there too. It's not going to be just full on Frank's sauce. So, be really good. Okay, we'll put that back in with the vegetables and let it continue cooking. Okay, now the chicken is done and out of the oven. And my phone ran out of batteries, so I couldn't film, but while I was charging, I deboned the thighs. So I'm just going to cut these thighs up into bite-sized pieces. And then we can start dishing it up into the individual servings. That chicken meat is so good and tender. So here's the vegetables all done and crispy. Okay, first we're going to dish out the rice. I have a ½ cup serving here. Most of these are going to go to my son who has requested these. He lives out on his own and he works. And this really saves him time. He likes to eat protein meals, high protein meals. So periodically he asks for these. Last time I made him taco bowls. I'll have to weigh one of these out for chicken and give you the final protein count for each bowl. Once I'm done dishing out the chicken, I'm going to put the vegetables in with it, and then I'll put a little bit of sauce over the top. There's some juices in the bottom of the pan here. It'll be really good. So here we have the broccoli, cauliflower, onions, and peppers. I love roasted vegetables. It just gives them such a good flavor. That was just right for 12. I'm sure there are some with a little more than others, but that is good enough. Now I'm going to go through and put a little sauce on, especially the chicken part of it, the chicken and vegetables. All right, voila, all done. As you can see, this meal prep was a success. I got 12 meals out of that chicken, vegetables, and rice. This will help my son stay on track with his high protein intake and also be very convenient for him as he doesn't have to prepare his own meals for the next week. So thank you for joining me today. If you like what you saw today and you want to see more, please like and subscribe and comment down below. We'll see you next time.